So you're watching a football game on Friday, Saturday, or even Sunday, and you see your favorite skill position player break off a long run or a long pass play or whatever it may be, and you sit there and you marvel at it and you cheer and you clap, whether you're in the comfort of your home or you're at the stadium, wherever it may be. But then you sit and maybe you think to yourself, did it really start with that player who was carrying the football or the player who passed the ball? Or did it start with the 5 guys up front, or the 4 down linemen, or the 3 down linemen on the other side, depending on the scheme that you line up in? You see, that battle in the trenches, that's where the game is won every single week. And here at Hoover, there's a special offensive lineman playing right tackle who seals the edge just about as good as anyone that you'll see in the county. His name is Luke Vannest. This is Behind the Athlete, brought to you by Canton Motors. I'm Jon Bozeka, and this is that big right tackle here in North Canton.
It'd be nice to get credit, but it's, in the end, as far as the O-line goes, we know it's all about the team first. That's why we call ourselves the nickel. We're not 5 pennies, we're not 5 separate people, we're one unit working for the better of the team, and we work so those guys get credit.
You know, in the youth programs, I understand kids, you know, they don't understand that yet. Even in the J-High, you know, kids always want to be that skilled guy, and about their junior year is when they realize this is something special to be part of that O-line, to be part of an offensive line, and they really take pride. And there's some guys that come around a little earlier, but I'll even hear some sophomores here, well, I do this, I do that, I could be a tight end, or I could be a fullback, and no, grind it out on that O-line. We have to play 5 of those guys, no matter what offense you run. It could be 4 wide, it could be 3 backs back there. You have to play 5 offensive liners, more opportunity to play there. And eventually they get that, and then they see, okay, the unit and how it is kind of special. But here at Hoover, how we treat that, and you want to be a part of that.
With being a successful O-lineman or lineman in general, there is a certain level of grit and toughness that you have to develop.
A lot of that just comes from working technique over and over and over, and then eventually, you know, you realize I got to be low to do this. And once you have the technique and you're low and out there, and sometimes your size, your strength allows you to become that badass, as you're trying to say, and to drive people off the ball. And you know, he's really getting some nice drive. I mean, he's driving people 5, 10 yards, 15 off the ball, and it's great to see that. And that's what he's dedicated himself to doing in the weight room from a young age, and go with his God-given size.
It takes time to develop that, I think, and I mean, some people just have a switch, and some people it takes time to develop it, and throughout, once you just get used to it, the more you play and the more you're in games and stuff.
I'm giving all this love to the O-lineman when there's another side of the line as well, the defensive line. We need to switch places real fast. Hold on, just 1 second. I told you to bear with me for just a moment because I told you we were gonna switch spots, and we're now at Canton South in hog heaven. That's what they call it out here, the place where O-linemen and D-linemen go to work. You can see the equipment behind me. And I'll tell you what, there's a defensive lineman here who technically goes both ways. He plays some O-line as well. His name is Deontay Williams. This kid knows how to get to the quarterback, knows how to make plays on the running back. He's able to block on the offensive end, and he loves being in the trenches. And his head coach, Greg Reed, loves having him in a Wildcat jersey.
I could probably do this in one word, and it's heart. You know, he's a leader. You could tell when he gets off the field, he gives you everything. He's exhausted. You know, at the end of each game we talk, you can just tell he's just giving everything he's got. And there's not many kids that can say that, you know. Even though they played hard, they can't say, I did every play the way I could do it. He does, and you can see it. And he'll be the first one to tell you if he had a bad game. He'll tell you the first play if I made a mistake. He takes accountability for, like, oh, I missed that. And as a head coach, that's all you strive for, accountability. And he understands the game, and he's just a great coachable kid.
Deontay understands that he won't always get credit, but knows how to cope with it and make it okay for himself.
People that need to see me, that doing like what I got to do, are going to see it. Like, the fans may not see it, and they may not be looking for it, but like the people that need to be are like seeing like colleges and stuff. Like, those people are seeing that type of stuff.
He is quick, he's off the ball, he uses his hands, his shoulders are square, he's got great pursuit angles, he knows the game, and that's a key thing, you know, he knows the game, and he plays with heart. Those are attributes that, you know, that any head coach would love to have, and he has pretty much all those.
And ultimately with Williams, it comes back to one thing, that heart.
I have a lot of heart for this game. I love this game of football. I mean, I have a lot of heart for this team. I'm do anything for him, make sure like we can do like what we got to do and get wins and stuff.
I suppose the bottom line is there's nothing sexy about being a lineman. I suppose you do it for the love of the game. And for Williams and Vannest, I think it's pretty clear that both of these guys love not only the game, but they love their teammates enough to sacrifice being one of those guys that won't always get the credit. That's the key to being a good lineman, and that's what both of them do. This has been Behind the Athlete, brought to you by Kempthorne Motors, highlighting Luke Vannest from North Canton Hoover and Deontay Williams from Canton South. For WHBC Sports, I'm Jon Bozeka.